We're gonna start it off very easy today, as Shawn Michaels provides an update on Miko Satomura and Ilya Dragunov ahead of Vengeance Day this Saturday in the NXT media call for the upcoming pay-per-view event. Satomura and Ilya Dragunov both have not been seen since last October, and as previously reported, when it came to an update on various UK native stars like Piper Niven, Gallus, Tyler Bate, and others, the question was revolved. The question did revolve, I should say, around visa issues regarding those talent. And though it is unclear right now what officially is keeping Miko Satomura and Ilya Dragunov away from NXT television, Shawn Michaels did say it seems like, or from what Shawn Michaels said, it seems like it is a combination of a few things, namely visa issues, but also the idea that also the idea of availability. What I mean by that is basically WWE prefers their talent to move, and be more localized. And Ilya Dragunov and Miko Satomura are still located in their native lands. So it is, the availability and visa issues are going to play a part in how frequently they will be used on programming. I will point out that Miko Satomura was last seen at Worlds Collide, losing the triple threat match between Blair Davenport and Mandy Rose to unify the respective NXT Women's Championships. And the last time we saw Ilya Dragunov was when he got beaten down and taken out by JD McDonough. The fact of the matter is, the animalistic intensity that we saw from JD McDonough in his match with Ilya Dragunov. I mean, the question is, when Dragunov does come back, whenever that might be, is it unrealistic to expect Dragunov to fight JD McDonough? Because, in my opinion, the two men do have some unfinished business with each other after JD's actions took out Ilya Dragunov for an extended period of time. But I guess that's something we gotta wait and see what happens. Speaking of taking somebody out for an extended period of time, we saw the return of Wardlow on AEW Dynamite last night to end the main event, which was a no-holds-barred match between Samoa Joe and Darby Allin. I remember watching, I want to say it was, I think it was Darby versus Kushida. And somebody made the point to say that it seems like Darby was just going to go the route of basically running himself into the ground, basically burning, as Excalibur said, burning the candle at both ends until he couldn't anymore. And that's where we hit last night, with Darby hitting the end of the road against Samoa Joe in what was a barn burner, as JR would say, for the TNT Championship. But either way, Wardlow is back. And we also have a new TNT champion in Samoa Joe. So now it is pretty obvious where AEW is going to go, with Wardlow and Samoa Joe likely colliding at Revolution in March. Some more quick news. That is, we got every intention to do previews for AEW Rampage tomorrow night, and if NXT Vengeance Day, as well as MLW Super Fight on February the 4th. So we have MLW Super Fight coming on February the 4th, NXT Vengeance Day coming on February the 4th, and, as always, Rampage tomorrow night on Friday. with the amount of time that I've spent talking about MLW's upcoming pay-per-view, and with the amount of time that I've spent talking about NXT, it's only fitting that I do previews for both events, and both will be separate. As you guys always know, I always try and figure out different ways to get some attention or different ways to do things. And basically, one of the things that I'm trying to do differently is continue to find ways to get new content. And focusing a little bit more on MLW is an interesting way, in my opinion, to get a little bit more content. But speaking of a company that maybe I should be paying a little bit more attention to, Impact Wrestling, as Impact Wrestling is again positioning their roster for the future, that's the word, with Kenny King announcing that he re-signed with them with Impact Wrestling for another year. Kenny King, I do believe, came over with the Ring of Honor talent and is one of the few Ring of Honor stars to stay with the company after Honor No More disbanded, and a lot of the talent that were a part of the faction went elsewhere, including Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Maria, leaving to go to AEW. But one other thing is, AEW is also pondering the start of a streaming service, and the streaming service would be something that they put together with Warner Brothers Discovery, or with the help of Warner Brothers Discovery. It is unclear if it would be something similar to what WWE has with Peacock, where it is featured on, because Discovery does have its own streaming service, so I don't know if AEW would have their streaming service featured independently, or if AEW would have the streaming service featured within the realm of Warner Brothers Discovery's streaming service. I guess that's something that you would have to wait and find out. But if I was AEW, I would have it included with Warner Brothers Discovery's streaming service, because you have Honor Club coming up, or relaunching, and you can't honestly expect fans to pay for Ring of Honor's streaming service and then AEW streaming service. So, like, one right after each other, I mean. So what I would say is, space it out a little bit. If you want to go that direction, space it out a little bit and allow fans to see what it's like to have Ring of Honor, and then bring in AEW, or just bring them in together and have them both on Honor Club. It's an idea. Either way, it is something that is in the early development, and it's not the first time we've heard about it, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But we got more news to get to in another video, so I will see you in the next video.